Aqui, Aquay, Akayu,
Accawmacke.
Aquay, Kayuk and Aquay. Yes, we are live here. Um, I wanted to go live because I had a interesting little chat with someone on Facebook today, and it kind of made me realize that we've been very, very upfront and very, very public about everything we've done. So when people don't know what we're doing, when they don't seem to understand, it just kind of it sends me for a loop because I'm like, dog, we've been extremely public about just about everything. So why don't they get it? So I thought it was really important that we come on and kind of talk about it, because the person said to me, so, you know, I was gonna I was thinking about looking for patents, but I just hadn't even gotten into it. And I was disturbed, extremely disturbed, because I never looked for patents. That's not how anything began. It began, greetings, Orlando. Thank you for coming. It began by just knowing your family, just by being a teenager in the 80s and doing genealogy and having your big mama and your aunties tell you to keep it up, keep looking. There's more. You need to learn more. You know, that's how it started. And then it kept on going. And I kept the promise and kept researching until I hit a bunch of revolutionary soldiers. And then I was like, what the world is this? How far back do we go? And where's the slaves? And then I started seeing Indians. Hi, April Dawn. Thank you for coming. And I was like, wait a minute. And then if you look at my first videos, you'll see that I was like trying to do a first video to kind of put out our basic story because I knew when I found out we were the Indians and what Indians we were that it needed to be known because they were putting out there that we were dead and gone and we've been gone. And I was like, that's wrong. The truth we are still here. So I had to repatriate us, reestablish the fact that we never left. Repatriate, reestablish. Hi, Alberta. It's wonderful seeing you. Copper Color Lifestyle, wonderful. Nice to see you. Thank you for coming. That's how it started. This has never been a person, right, Cynthia? I want to introduce y'all to Cynthia. Cynthia is
Hi.
my one rider, my number one warrior, part of the Accawmacke Council. Thank you, Copper Color Lifestyle. She is the one, Cynthia. Hey, Isa. Thanks for coming. She's the number one person. She's the person that was standing out in the rain in front of PNC Bank by herself with the protest signs. Okay, understand that we didn't know. Um, Actually, the county, the people that are mad, the rich people that are mad, are the people that made it so well known that we had patented land. They were so proud of the misinformation and the confusion that they fed my people that they boldly displayed the information about the land allotments, patents, and whatnot. They're the ones who made it very, very public. I didn't have to look for anything, really. It was all out there because it's almost like when someone is a criminal and they're cocky, they're so cocky that they're just bold with it. That's what we have going on. We have this outrageously cocky criminals that know that they stole the land and they just boldly display it because they know that they have, my people so transfixed and so terrorized that first of all, they don't understand who they are. And secondly, even if they did, they're too terrorized to do anything about it. So no, I never was looking for a patent. The patents were boldly displayed out there for me to find and see. anywhere you go around, if you're educated out there, if you look at anything into the area, you're going to find out about the Genghis Khan Indians, the land pack. It's it has been, maybe not now, but it has always been very boldly promoted. And so no, that was not it was not a whole like I'm gonna get, no, I'm searching for patents or anything or anything like that. Sorry about that. It was never that. It was always about knowing who my family was, and it was always about us getting our getting our identity reestablished and getting ourselves together that way. So, when I first was looking out there, it was like I met Cynthia. Cynthia was knew about her heritage. She understood who we were, the truth about who we were, and we wanted to educate people, and we wanted to, you know, build ourselves up and learn everything about our culture and build ourselves up as a people and teach the kids and right, Cynthia. It was like
Right. Yeah.
just excited to be able to do that.
To share
And
everything with everybody.
right. And share everything with make people. Well, we didn't even think that there first. We didn't even know what there was anything to share. Right?
Right.
We didn't know. We didn't really put it all together immediately of what the allotments and where it was and who. We didn't really do all that. I hadn't gone that deep down the rabbit hole of discovering the how that's my grandparents in the park and you know we were just like, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could have the park? Because
Right.
Indian town, that'd be great.
Right. Right.
Because
We knew that it was the reservation.
we knew that. We knew that the park was it was a reservation, but we didn't know it was just a tiny portion of really
Right.
what we have. And
Right.
now we still don't even know because there's still a lot hidden. But we learn more and more each day about what exactly is out there that we just could never imagine. Really, how big, why they wrote the book Ye Kingdom of Accawmacke. That because it really is a kingdom. It
Exactly.
really is a tremendous kingdom that spans the Americas. So, but like I said, we discover more every day, and it's really not. It has never been, nor is it about we trying to get something for nothing. We would be like, wow, wouldn't it be great if they let us have the park and then we could do stuff. We could do like indigenous, like experience for people to come and learn about the true history and da 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 da. We can get grants and fix it up and do different things and da 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 da. And have have little campgrounds or do whatever and you know to, that's how that was the most we were thinking.
Right.
So if they had a bit of sense, a lick of sense, a lick of human kindness, a lick of daggone ethics, and they could have nipped this whole thing in the bud by just saying, "Oh, guess what? You guys, you are the Indians. You know, here, take this, and we would have been blown over. We would have been like so busy trying to fix up the park and get grant money and do what we need. We wouldn't have looked a bit further and we would have known nothing more than that.
Right.
Like, we wouldn't have known anymore because we would have been so busy, occupied with trying to deal with, oh, we got a park. We think, oh, well, we got the 50, whoa, we got 50 make it park. Wow. We wouldn't have known anything else. But because as we started to discover that the park really is part of our territory, that we have patents in our name that are like thousands and thousands of acres, not just as Accawmacke, but also in our families. That wait a minute, these people, and then we learn what a patent is. Patent is law. A patent is not just like a deed. A deed is like has really no value compared to a patent. A patent is constitutionally protected. It is law. Just consider it law because that's what it is. So when we discovered more about the patent, more about what they took, what they hid, but even more so, when I started to litigate, and then these people are making all these claims about the dirty Moors, and come on, I don't mind anybody talking because even if you're lying, you're still talking, and like they say, even bad looks good. So I don't really care because you know why? Because there's so much truth in what we're doing. When you're doing what is true and good, you don't got to worry about. I don't get excited about what anybody says. They're lying. Does does it bother you, Cynthia?
At all. Not at all.
No, it doesn't bother me either. It doesn't bother me not one bit because we know what the truth is, and really, who cares? So I
Exactly.
mean, when they're out there talking like that, I mean, they try to keep us. They shadow ban me. A lot of people don't see my videos. A lot of people don't see what I'm doing. A lot of people can't, follow me. I even, we somebody gave me information about the same person I talked to gave me information about Wikipedia making up a Accawmacke um, site or citation that was really fraudulent. And then when I went to go correct it,
Really?
because yes, I tried to do an Accawmacke one years ago, and they gave me hell, and they would not let me post my shit. And then this one is all fraudulent. It's spelled Accawmacke to sidestep us, like right. And I'm like, and I was like, oh, okay. I went to go try to do something about it. They banned my entire profile. It's banned from Wikipedia.
Oh,
They
wow.
claim I have to start a whole new profile to even like get in there. I'm like, you know what? That's how much. See, this is a federally, condoned action, and these people, they're trying to hide things that are very big. Okay? And because what we are, first of all, we're very big. We don't even realize how big we are. Like our territory is vast, and our reach is very, very broad as a nation, and we're just learning about it. So it's a big old can of worms, big old can they don't want anybody knowing about. So
Right.
this is the thing. We were just trying to do simple stuff. Do our summit. Our summit wasn't us trying to be big time or whatever. Our summit was like, let's get attention to us being here in the county. We're repatriating. When you repatriate, you want people to know you exist, especially when they say you dead. Come on now, you got to let people know we are here. So our summit was about declaring we are here, showing and proving that we are here. That's what it was about. Getting our families together to get to talk about it. A lot of our people locally would not dare come out because that's how beat down and oppressed that territory is.
Yep.
We are victims of terrorism.
I tried to get a
Continuous.
whole lot of my family members to come out. They would not come out. Everybody had an excuse.
And now they feel like that their excuses are confirmed because look what happened. They're going to jail. Look, they didn't put me in jail for claiming our land. They put me in jail because I am claiming our land. But
Right.
they can't jail me for what I really did because what I really did was lawful, legal, and ethical. They had to make up false charges to jail me. I
Right.
have never filed a lien in my life. They don't owe me anything. When am I going to file a lien on or for? I don't know these people. I have
And
not
I thought
filed
maybe there was more paperwork to file a lien than just a quick claim, huh?
a quit claim is not a lien, and they that's how they lie.
Right.
So they had to actually false put hit to hit me with false charges. But see, they are very disrespectful because they think I'm ignorant. So they think the false charges would scare me enough, and being stopped and jailed would scare me so much that that would be into me. Really? See, I
I
guess
mean,
they
and not
really
only not only scare you, they want to scare us as well. Like they want to scare whoever you're trying to collect to follow you.
exactly, exactly. Hey, Shara, that's another one of my Accawmacke, my Accawmacke Nation. My cousin, another cousin. Hey, Shara, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you doing?
Hi,
Good.
Shara.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
so we were just talking about how this did not start off as anybody. Somebody said that, oh, I never really looked for patents in my, I haven't done that. I was like, what do you think? I was looking for patents? I never was looking for patents. That's not how any of this that didn't have anything to do with any of this.
Started.
Never looking
No.
for patents. It was about family, and it
You
was
just
about
family
reclaiming.
history. And the more you research,
Yeah,
the more you find.
the more you find. And then like when I went to go look when I went to claim the park. Okay, so this is the thing.
Mhm.
People they started talking about dirty moors and all this. It makes me think that they think that I got a puppet. I'm a puppet, and somebody else is doing all the work. It's very
Mhm.
disrespectful because they think that I'm not doing my own litigating. Hmm. This is what
Mhm.
happened. Oh, I didn't know how to litigate, and I did have someone help me. And it is Amani, and he is in another country. However, Amani is really very meticulous and very very like very very upright, what he does and stuff. But I was doing the lion's share of everything because I was boots on the ground. I was in the courthouse all the time, looking up, researching, looking up deeds, doing this. And I'm coming up with ideas because I'm looking at these court records and I'm like, they look like fraud. And I'm like, they look fake. They look fake. And so I got a handwriting expert. My idea, get a handwriting expert. Let's see if these deeds are fraudulent. The handwriting expert was like, ma'am, I can't help you. The handwriting, ma'am, it's 18, the year is 1800. What? I don't look at 1800 handwriting. What are you doing? Like, this is weird. I'm like, just look at it. He came back and said, yeah, I can help you. The fraud is that dead
Mhm.
going on.
Mhm.
They have
Yeah.
fraud deeds that they put in there. The Daughters of the Revolution rewrite all that stuff, and they put they
Yeah.
it's fraud.
And they
Then in
were
addition,
surprised.
they're
The daughters of
criminals.
the revolution. Yeah.
They're criminals. So then, and then you find out, okay, that PNC, now PNC, the idea to sue for PNC, yeah, it is on my ancestors' land, right? Direct, great grandmother or fifth great grandmother. However, that wasn't my idea. That actually originally was more Almani's idea to kind of get more boom for his efforts.
Mhm.
It really wasn't my original idea. Like I said, I was really just interested in, can we get the park? You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
However, the fact remains is that when I started to see all the fraud, and I did know about Smith Beach Road, I knew about that for decades that they were doing shady stuff there. Like I knew about that, and I wrote about it. And now, see what happened was after 2 months of me learning how to litigate, learning that me and Imani parted ways right about August. About August. The first filing was May, and in about August, I was like, you know what? My sister was like, you doing how to work? You doing how to work? You working there night? Do it yourself. Do it yourself. So we parted ways. We arrived at a agreement of how much I should pay him off, and I continued on my own for the next two years. 2 or more years, almost 2.5. So no, no, I'm not a victim of a Moor, and Moor is what he's not doing. He is a person that always has been he's litigated from himself for himself. Anyway, since way back when he worked for the U.S. military. So he's no, that's not what it is. But either way, I did learn to litigate, and I do my work myself. And so the fact that they thought that they could jail me and do all these things and I not be able to, yeah, at first it was a little bit disturbing and I felt a little bit overwhelmed because it is criminal. But I know what I did. And I know what they are accusing me of is not what I did. So their ability, they could have me using any one of their attorneys, whether I pay 250,000 or I pay 50,000 or I pay nothing and have a court appointed, they're gonna escort me to jail because if I didn't know better, but I do know better, so therefore they can't escort me to jail because I won't have it, right? Because everything they did is illegal and crooked and criminal and corrupt.
Exactly. And they only have jurisdiction over you if you allow them jurisdiction over you, you know? And by you
Right.
not allowing them to, they can't. So,
They have no jurisdiction, and the real thing is, they who makes up fake charges to imprison someone? That is terrorism.
Eastville. I told you they've been doing this for a long, long time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
They have crimes for which they are going to pay mightily because this crime is just a tiny indication of what they do to our people over and over again, all over the country, all over the daggone Americas, and really all over the world.
Yep.
And they are going to pay mightily for this crime because they have the right one. They have the right one. My attorney contacted me this week, so called, and I had to fire him because he said to me, "Oh, about a patent. How is it that you feel it still has a credibility or has what the, my case is
Yeah.
not about a patent.
Because he's a
It's
mole.
Mm-hmm.
not about a patent. I fully just they are so disrespectful in how they think about me and us. They think that I don't know that this patent, you can't stop this patent. And everything that's on this patented land, we can just walk in the door and take. And if it was reversed, that's what they would do. And they would use the
Mm-hmm.
military. They would use the military to get us out of our houses.
Sure
Yeah.
would.
If it was reversed, they would have the military pushing it, escorting us out of our houses.
They've done exactly that for with less backing and less reason.
Evidence. Yeah.
So,
Exactly. So to have other people that claim to be of your same background talk crazily about what is going on without even looking. See, this is what's so crazy. They don't even look up anything. Like you're not even looking up anything, and you're making claims like that I'm doing some crooked stuff or you're
Only what the
bad.
white man tell him.
They
mm-hmm.
work. They working for them. They got to be working for them because there is no way I would ever I wouldn't just make any kind of assumption like that with anybody. First of all, without talking to them anyway. But maybe that's just me. I don't even know. I don't know.
You're not sure born.
No, it's people from all over the country. I'm talking about these other entities, even people from all around the country that's talking crap, that kind of thing. But I just say, if you think that, first of all, I where am I at? Am I sharing my screen? Yeah,
Just
yeah.
sharing your screen.
Good, good. Okay, so I
Mhm.
wanted to show that, just look at my videos. You know what I mean? I got everything tracked. They called the police. Why they can't stop us from taking our land? Why we refuse? The Indian town belongs to us. Repatriate. I mean, everything is pretty much accounted for, right?
Mm-hmm.
what the, come on, like what else do you need to do if you have all this data that is out there? You don't even look up the data. You just make assumptions that, oh yeah, come on. And this is not a
It's because
greed thing.
they create new laws and they think that their laws overrule the original laws of this land, and that's not the case. When you get into, sovereignty, land patents, all of that, like a corporation does will never, over I guess overwrite what a land patent and all that stuff has done, you know. But I think a lot of people don't even realize that. They don't understand any of it. They really have
Yeah.
no idea about it.
And they assume that I really don't understand, so therefore they can tell me anything. And the lawyer is gonna
Mhm.
make me think of so. No, babe. No, the lawyer is not gonna make me feel a certain way about nothing. That's not, they don't have that authority to do that. No, that's not gonna happen. So
Yeah.
they didn't even bother to look. And this came out in February.
Mhm.
So, you know, this came out in February. They don't bother to look, to even know that, wait a minute, how are you going to jail somebody for something that you knew about in February? That not only was that article came out, but the proclamation came out, the judicial proclamation came out in the newspaper before the article
Mhm.
came out,
Mhm.
right?
And nobody
So the
said
proclamation,
nothing.
nobody said nothing.
Because you didn't
So
touch the
now
$1 million properties yet.
that's true. I did poke the bear by quit claiming $1 million property and a plantation
Right.
and a couple of businesses. But yeah, I did poke the bear. But sometimes the bear has to be poked.
Mhm.
And not even that, you're on our land.
Right.
You know you're on our land. You know that many people were getting ready to develop those territories and they stopped because they knew there
Yeah.
was and there was not an encumbrance by me, a historical encumbrance that was ignored. So see, you
Mhm.
want to get mad at yourself. You want
Mhm.
to get mad at the hoodlum that sold you that property because that's a scammer. They were
Mhm.
like, phew, got made some money, got out.
Mhm.
And don't forget about those 12 scammers that they just wrote up last year for the tax fraud or conservation fraud or something for
Mhm.
Bay Creek for the
Bay,
developers.
Bay Creek was just in the news for the developers doing scams and stuff. So the fact that
Mm-hmm.
they want to have my head on a post because I quit claimed a a pretty new house. Not nobody's
Mhm.
house. Nobody is being put out of houses,
Yeah.
and that's the other thing.
Yeah.
We could, but this is the thing about the Eastern Shore that people don't realize also. There's so many vacant properties.
Mhm.
So many that even the new development, most of their houses are vacant. They can't sell them.
You
Why?
know,
Because of us, because of the patents that are there.
and the
The
thing
other
is, that's all across the country. Like, honestly, like, you are really just like touching the iceberg of so much that's going on or has went on all around the country. And the reality is that's the only reason why they're trying to get at you. That's it. Because you it's just the tip of the iceberg.
yes, it is. It's the tip of the iceberg, and they don't want that. They don't want people to know. But sadly, I think people are so out of touch that even talking about it. I mean, even with me talking about it, they still don't get it. Like I said, the information's out there. This articles, predates everything. Then they turned around and simultaneously with that one that they keep putting up there, they had to look to find that. These people don't live in the area. How they find that article? Unless that article is being pushed forward, which is also possible, because that's what they do. But the reality is, um, there's a lot, um, there's a lot of information that shows you just what's happening. If you care to know the truth, if you want to be scared and foolish, then I don't know what to tell people. But if you want to know the truth, there's a lot of information that is available. That is. But anyway, so there's the other article. So I mean, I said I wasn't going to be stopped. I was not discouraged by being thrown in jail.
Mhm.
So I mean, that's all out there. Um, this becomes an issue because they made it an issue. This became an issue because they are so corrupt, and the corruption is so pervasive, and these people are so greedy and so mean and so demonic that they have to be brought down. You can't just live by the demon and let the demon be. The demon's got to be destroyed. You got to stop the demon. So this is what it is. We got to stop the demon. And you can't run from the demon because they just continue to do what they do to somebody else. So you have to fight the demon. And that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. We're fighting these demonic people. These demonic entities are being fought. And you can't be afraid. And you can't do it in a hidden way. You have to do it out front and personal. And you have to do it publicly. They have to go down publicly. Everybody has to know who the demons are, and they need to go down publicly. Ooh, unearthing them. I want to have the hoods off. I want the hoods off of them. That's what I want. I want to see them. That's why.
Exactly, because they've been doing everything in secret for so long.
That's why I want to go to courts. Come on, baby. Let's go to court because that's when you get to see the demons. That's when you can see them with the hoods off. Bring me to court. I can't wait to see you. It's worth it just to be able to see them for who they are in public. You'll be able to identify the demons when I meet them in court, and I can't wait to go to court. I can't wait. And I want it to happen real soon because I want to see them real soon.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready.
I want to see them real soon. And I have a right to a speedy trial. So I'm oppressed for that. And I'm not under the jurisdiction, so they can't sit up there and do that. And then we're going to bring them to our court because the Accawmacke Indians have their own court. And they're going to have to come and appear before us because we've got some things that they need to face. We've got some charges for them.
Exactly.
That's next. We've got some charges for them in Accawmacke Kingdom's court. So that's next. See, what they've dealt with in this country has been what they've controlled. Indians that want to be recognized. They want to be part of the matrix. They want to be controlled. That want to be under their thumbnail. And Indians that don't want to do nothing. Well, they have neither one of those things with the Accawmackes. Because we don't recognize the United States. And they need to get our recognition because I don't understand how they're here. I don't get it. Because the Revolutionary War, that so-called fake war that they used to take the land away from us, that was between them and their people. That was them being traitors. That doesn't mean they get to have a new territory that is not theirs. So I don't see how the Revolutionary War won anything. It didn't win anything. As far as I can see, they need to go back home or find some place in the middle or go back on their ships.
Yeah, because they were fighting for something that didn't belong to either of them to begin with.
They can't fight over something that doesn't belong to either one. And we had our own laws. We had our own towns. We were not sitting around with loincloths and walking around like we were some kind of, uncivilized, people that needed their help. They couldn't even keep themselves healthy or alive.
And this is why we need to make this public, because the school systems does not teach that. All my life, I believed the Indians were savages. The Indians lived in the woods. The Indians wore loincloths. That the Indians were fucking extinct. And here I am.
Well, you don't seem to be extinct to me.
That's
Right.
what I'm saying.
You seem to be here. So that's a problem. I mean, the fact that they do this to us, the fact that they put out these lies, and this is the thing. It's really upsetting to know the all the different things they do to keep us under this oppression, to keep us enslaved. We're enslaved. You're not free.
Yeah.
You're a slave. Slavery,
Definitely.
as far as I can see, it's a lie. That whole emancipation is a big old lie. It never ended. It never really began, but it never ended because it has always been a system of indentureship and contract, and we're
Which
still
still exists today.
right, and we're still under it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is to know, to know who we are is to understand that we're not patent seeking, trying to get some land. Da, 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 da. It's not even like that. We are quit claiming these properties, and this territory is an area where most of these houses are not just rentals, like y'all know rentals, like for like to rent out to people to live in. They're like
Hmm.
summer houses. Like these
Vacation
houses,
rentals.
right? They're vacation rentals. The majority of
Airbnb.
all these properties are either vacation rentals or they're vacation rentals or they're vacant. The brand new
Mhm.
house was vacant because they were trying to sell it. It was a multi-million-dollar house that they were trying to sell, but they're not able to sell them really because, like I said, they make the land so destitute because they don't want us Indians staying. No
Mhm.
job, no resources, no fun things to do because they want us gone. They're forever trying to exile us. So they keep it destitute on purpose. But in the course of doing that, their own kids leave. In the course of doing that, they can't get people to stay there. They can't get principals to stay at the school.
They
They
can't
can't get
get people to come in there to
they
fill the
can't,
positions.
they can't get teachers and people to stay in the positions because when they come there, there's really nowhere to stay. There's nowhere, nothing to do. There's no resources. There's not even a Walmart. In order to go to across the bay, you got to pay up to $19 one way.
And
It's
without
pro
the easy pass, you got to pay it both ways.
right. It's prohibitive for people. They make it prohibitive to live there to exile the indigenous people, the Indians. They want us gone. But interesting enough, my family stays. They persist. They want to stay home, and they don't get to see. They rarely get to see the beautiful sunsets on the water or the beautiful sunrises because we're landlocked. We're barred from our own territory.
And they just took the last black community that was on the water and condemned it a few months ago.
Oh, they condemned it. That's how they did it.
Yeah.
See, I
Huh.
wrote to the congressman for a congressional inquiry into why they were moving them people out the house, out the housing, out the elderly housing for
The
seniors.
elderly. Yeah.
It's on the waterfront.
Mm.
So at Accawmacke, that's also why we got to fight. So there we go. So definitely we got to quit claim that because they're trying to take that and make it so we can't even have that one little spot where they're close to the water.
Right. And it's because they built their $1 million homes right in the back of it. I mean, smack dab in the back of it.
And they want to say it's an eyesore. And those $1 million
Right.
homes belong to us. That's our territory.
Right.
That's our territory. So see, they don't want see what it so they think I'm poking the bear, they're poking us.
Mhm.
Because the real bear are the people on the side of the justice and the side of the rights. And we have all the rights in our patent. They don't have anything to stand on. They don't have a leg to stand on. They're criminals and they know it. And they're the biggest example of what can happen to a territory when you get carried away with abusing a people over and over again, exiling people over and over again. So you get so confident you think nobody can touch you and your daggone corruption and your mobster ways. But they're touchable. Oh yeah, they're more than touchable. Hmm. Hmm. They are not able to say, okay, and this is the other thing. Dum dums. What is it? Okay. Mm, come on, Bubba. Yep. Is it just going up there and staying up there? Okay. Know what to do. I don't know if that's showing or not. Let me see. It's showing. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll open up the other this one.
So
All
I
right.
just want to add that it was like 20 something families that was displaced, predominantly black families. Um, that was displaced with the condemning of um Seabreeze.
Mm. Okay.
And they just stopped paying for their hotels. Like the people had to find somewhere to go um last month, in
Oh,
May, I think. Like they stopped providing aid.
it's like how do they even do that? And wasn't that like an elderly community?
It
Yeah.
wasn't elderly, but it was subsidized. It was low income.
Mm.
The elderly one, it was up the street, is where you first come in, and they had shut that down for renovations. And
Mhm.
they did those people kind of dirty too because they offered them a set amount of money um to stay in a hotel, or you get the set amount of money. You get the set amount of money or you get the hotel room. You wasn't getting both.
Wow.
Right.
So they did the elderly community first,
Yep.
Right.
and then they went to the other part of the community.
Right.
The
And they completely kicked out the low income people. Like the elderly people, they had the option to come back in. A lot of them chose not to because of different reasons.
Mhm.
But the low income community, Seabreeze, they completely kicked those families out. They can't come back.
Mm.
That's the problem. And
Yeah,
so
that's
yeah, that's the thing. So that's why they need to have the nation here because that's where we come in and we fight for the people that can't fight for themselves. You know what I mean? Nobody else is going to do.
Exactly.
And then, they ignored my my request for a congressional inquiry, because I did ask several congressmen and put in a formal application for a congressional inquiry into the taking of those daggone places. You see? So that's how deep the corruption is. My paper
Mm-hmm.
trail of what has been done is very deep, it's very vast, it's very broad, you know. But yet they want to sit there and act like, oh, she's just some, they want to put out there like I'm some daggone person just filing claims, being some daggone, like I'm some kind of weird, sovereign citizen weirdo. I'm not a sovereign citizen weirdo. I'm a person that knows and loves their family and had been dedicated to learning more about my family. And when I learn who we are and what we have as a people, I'm fighting for it. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
simple.
Right.
Because that money, those properties could be places where a lot of my people need to live. Those properties can be places that we can rent, and it could be a foundation of having income for the nation, so we can do things and build things together so people can make their lives better. But see,
Right.
they want to sit there and act like somebody's just trying to just hot for properties. I'm not hot for property. Are you freaking kidding me? No, that's not what it is. It's about the Accawmacks being able to have a life that should have had a long time ago, and that we did have a long time ago before they came and started taking what was ours.
Yeah.
Because if
And before
you
they
look at
stole it.
right, you look in the records, even when they say, "Oh, they sold their land," man, our people, oh, they sold their land because they were wanting the money. The dumb historians like Doctor, what's her name? Oh God, I can't think of her name. Dr. Roundtree made up lies in her book saying that we sold it because we needed money, and we need. No, these same people have multiple properties. They weren't broke, and they knew the
Mm-hmm.
value of it because they would lease it out and get the money. They would use it as collateral for a loan, get the money, pay off the loan. They knew how to use their property to keep themselves in money. So no,
Mm-hmm.
that's not even the case.
So I was born in the 80s and I grew up in the 90s. And there was so much heated arguments between the families that, I was a child, but I heard these arguments. And they argued about the family selling the land. And like it was a lot of family members that was against it. And a lot of family members was like, I don't want to deal with it. But that was always
Mm-hmm.
an issue. So yeah, the Roundtree thing makes sense because like how they still trying to fight and hold on to the land in the 90s if they was trying to sell it way back then.
Mm-hmm.
Right. we 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 really fought to hold on to our property. They wanted to create this whole veil of that. Oh, the Indians are gone, and what Indians were, they weren't really Indian. They were mixed with black. And what was a black? See, they never used the term African in the history. They just used black. As if
Mm-hmm.
so. What they did, they depicted the Indian as looking Asiatic, and then the black is the black, right? So they tried to make us some kind of tri-racial colored people by making sure that people did not see the Negro as being the Indian, when we truly are the true Indians, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it really is really kind of smart, a devious, smart plan, and when you think about it, but at the same time, it's very wicked and extremely cruel. You know what I mean? To do
Mm-hmm.
such a horrible thing where you lose everything, even your sense of like
Self identity, who you are.
identity, and also like you almost think you're crazy because you're like, I know the truth, I was taught and I live, but
Mm-hmm.
then you're like questioning your own sanity, probably in a way. You know what I mean? Because you're like, dog, is it? Is what I know to be true
Right,
real? So I mean,
right.
the proclamation was put out with the instrument numbers and everything in the paper. As you can see, I paid 200 and some dollars to get that done. They gave me an affidavit to show that February this thing was done back in February. So I mean, they
Mm.
gave me an affidavit. This is an affidavit to show that this was published in the legals. In the legals, okay.
Mhm.
I said these above parcels are now owned by the Accawmacke Indians. Okay, this is this was announced to them. If they wanted to jail me, then if that was illegal, the proclamation was made in February. If that was illegal, the proclamation with the daggone instrument numbers was made in February.
Right.
That's because they were trying to figure out what fake charges they could come up with to
No,
try and
no.
stop
It's
you.
because she hadn't touched their $1 million properties yet. She poked the bear. She poked the bear.
Yeah, it was $1 million properties.
Mm.
Probably stayed with Smith Beach Road, it might not have been an issue. Actually,
Right.
I don't.
Mm,
I
Right.
don't know. It might
mm,
not.
mm, mm.
I'm not sure.
I don't
But
think it is because if it was, your co-conspirators would have been jailed up with you.
Mhm.
right. Well, there's no they didn't name any co-conspirators. That's the whole thing.
Exactly.
All
Exactly. So Smith
they
Beach
charged,
Road ain't got nothing to do with it.
they charged me with co-conspiracy with conspiracy, but I don't have any named co-conspirators because why? Because that's how they were in a rush. I don't even think when they stopped me they had done anything. I think that's all falsified. I don't believe they had the charges because it really if they really did it on the 10th is when I got a weird phone call from some detective talking about you might need to come in and talk about some possible criminal charges with these quick claims. I was like, how can a quick claim be criminal? Are you kidding me? And I gave him a whole tirade of all the criminal activity I know about that's going on the Eastern Shore. He was like, I don't know nothing about them people. I ain't their friend. Police officer hung up. So if that's the state police errand that they put in the article, is that if that's the same one that called me on the phone? That police officer hung up on me. He didn't want to talk about it no more. Okay, I don't see that person being someone they could collect evidence from and get a whole daggone capious order out of. That don't make any sense. So I believe they made that crap up on the fly because I was in jail for hours. They didn't have nothing to give me. They just can't. They were compiling it probably as I was daggone sitting in there waiting because they didn't have any orders. It looked like a 10-year-old put them daggone indictment paperwork together. And
Let's find some words that match.
it was it was a hot mess. So yeah, so no, it wasn't didn't seem like they had it together. They didn't know what they was gonna do or how they was gonna do it, and they just kind of threw it together. But the reality is, um the reality is that we're reasonable people. I mean, but I'm not just one person. So we have to agree on it. We have a council, we have many Accawmacke, and we have to
Mhm.
agree on what is done. Uh, like I said, a lot of us wants everything. They don't want to stop and they want everything back that we could possibly get back, da 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 da. And I
Mhm.
understand that, and I try to move a little less, radically. So, I'm trying to like be conservative and a little bit,
I
c-
mean,
you
the
know,
same way they're fine taking whole communities of people and just putting them in hotels for a couple weeks or a couple months and then say, oops, sorry, your homes are condemned. There's nothing we can do about it. You just have to figure it out. I mean, they're okay doing that.
3 months. 3 months they pay for them in a hotel.
They have no problem putting people out.
right. And in the light of
So,
people going and doing that kind of, you know, witchery to our people, how am I supposed to be able to, with a clear mind, not fight and keep this fight going for us to get everything back that we could possibly.
Because those
So
people, majority of the other people, they have other options. I mean, let's be real. It's literally empty. It's empty buildings in good condition.
right,
Those
these are
families that were misplaced could be placed in some of those homes that are the homes that are just sitting vacant. So,
They the wrong color. They the wrong color.
we claimed vacant properties of people that are wealthy that live in other states and
hmm
corporations that are corrupt and have been proven to be corrupt even by their own court system. Okay, it
hmm
is not some scammy schemy. I'm just trying to get something for nothing situation. We are people fighting for our rights and fighting for justice, and to have anybody say anything other than that is ridiculous, because all you got to do is look. If you look at my videos, if you look at daggone any information besides one article, then you're going to find they're fighting for the land. We're at PNC Bank fighting for this. We're fighting for that. You're going to see the track record. We've been doing
hmm
this. We've been very up.
Exactly.
Everything has been announced. Everything has been talked about. It
And
is
not
not
only on your page, but on our pages and everybody's pages.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to go to court so I can see the people without their hoods on. Because what you all also need to understand is that the territory that we're talking about has the highest concentration of claverns. Claverns are places where the clan meets. And Northampton County has the highest concentration. That little territory on the Eastern Shore has about 3 or 4 in that little tiny area. Whereas there's maybe one in this part of the country, one in that. We have a concentration of claverns in that territory. These people are clans men and women that we are dealing with. And then you got it, and then people have the audacity to come on and do YouTubes and talk crap and act like I'm some kind of criminal trying to get something for nothing. Are you kidding me? And I'm
hmm
battling demons and clans and people. Are you kidding me? You working for the government that hard that you're condoning the activity of the Klan. Well, we've seen that happen before, historically.
Right.
But but you need to clearly understand that the Klan works for the government and the government works for the Klan. I need people to understand that because the evidence is on the Eastern Shore. The Klan works for the government and the government works for the Klan. Period.
Period.
They can't, April, they can't fight for those properties. They can't. See, that's the thing. They don't, they can't fight for it. That's why they had to jail me on false charges, on fake, on, you know, frivolous, weird charges that aren't something I didn't do, because they don't have the power to stop the law. And the patent is law. They don't have that authority. That's why they had to resort to something that is criminal in order to jail me. They had to do something illegal. They had to illegally they had to abduct me and illegally arrest me. That was malicious prosecution that they did. That was First Amendment retaliation is what they did. They don't have a leg to stand on, so they are desperate. That's what we're dealing with, desperate measures of people. That's what we're dealing with. That's what you're seeing in action. The desperation. And it's just greed. Because these people, like I said, they live in other places. They got other properties. This is just a part of a part portion of a portfolio. April. This is just a portion of a portfolio. This stuff don't mean it would mean something to a lot of people to have that kind of extra income, but to them they don't even. It is really not that much to them. What they just are, they're incensed because of the principle. First of all, who's getting it? That's what they're really mad about. Who's getting it? The color of our skin. Who's not just the color, our identity as indigenous Indians. That's why they're really upset. Because if we were white Indians, they give it to us. They would have given that park along. If we were at like the Accawmacke, oh my God, they would have given that park to them off rip and extra properties. They would have gotten all extra properties plus the park off rip, being white Indians, fake white Indians.
Exactly. So you remember that graveyard I took you to off the end of the road, off of 600? That new one that I showed you?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that was like that. Like who got that? Like the people that cleaned it up, it was white people.
right. Well, they got grant money to probably do that. You know, well,
Oh
maybe
yeah, they did.
pretty sure they did. But like I said, these people, I mean, if we were white, they would be helping us get everything. It's because we're the real Indians that they're giving us all this hell. We could be white, we could look like anything else, we could be Asian, we could be anything else, and we would get help because because they're not real. They'll give these pseudo whatever, these fake fraudulent people, they'll give them everything. But because we are the true people that have a right to this claim, it is a can of worms that they can't contain. If it gets open, it changes the whole game. Not just for America, but for the entire planet. Because the entire planet eats off our plate. We provide for this entire planet. And yeah, April, you're right. They are dirty, but they're gonna be dirty. They live dirty. We are reasonable people, but we also know this is an unreasonable situation that they put us in. By putting us under attack once again and opening up scars that have never healed. Trauma that is still inside of us. We have trauma in our DNA. So this terrorism is extremely damaging right now. Let me people, it's very interesting. What'd you say? Keep us slaving and cognitive diseases. Let me share some of the comments. Um, yeah, they definitely want to keep us slaving. Let me go ahead and I'm not gonna share this anymore. I don't think I'm gonna share anymore. Yeah, they definitely want to keep us slaving. You're right about that. They definitely want us to keep us in our confusion, keep us in a state of perpetual confusion, like African Americans are supposed to be. That's right. And abject poverty. Yes, that's right. That's right. And yet we still continue to win. We still continue to be successful. We still continue to build. Yet, despite everything that they do, right? Despite everything. But guess what? We're coming together as a people. We are learning more about our history as a people. We learned more in the last couple of weeks that, man, like we've learned a lot. Like the ancestors are like throwing information at us rapidly. And you have to understand the ancestral source of this. The fact that I I wouldn't have done any of this stuff if I had not had my ancestors pushing me like a machine. I have been pushed like a machine. The first year that when I did the summit, I was like under possession. Like I was just doing, and I didn't know how. I didn't know why. And after it was all done, I was like, how did that? What was that? The ancestors were controlling my moves, and they still do.
That's how I feel like when I met you the second year you did the summit.
Yeah. Oh, go on. Tell me, what do you mean?
Like that was I was driven to you. Like I started off as searching for being sovereign from the state. Like I was looking into the Moors, I was looking into the Islam, I was looking into, a whole bunch of stuff. And then, sitting down talking to Auntie Alice, and she gives me your number, and then I talk to you, and then it was like boom, that's where I'm supposed to be. So then like you tell me like the website to look at to find my genealogy, and I just went on autopilot, and I was like up for like 4 days because they only give you like 7 days on a free trial. So, so I was up for like 4 days just looking at the genealogy, like, oh my God, yes, this is where I belong. You know what I mean? So
Right.
then I met you at the summit, and it was like, I don't know, it was like magical or something. I don't know. It was cool.
Yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, we have a duty to our to not just the living, but to those who have passed on, who've gone through worse than what we have. And how about the people that were so wise to preserve this for us? Like I say, they actually secured the bag for us hundreds of years ago. How would it be for me to just diss it? Just act like it ain't nothing. Just like, oh, I don't want to fight for that because it ain't worth it. They ain't gonna give it to me anyway. What do you mean? They ain't gonna give it to me anyway. First of all, they don't have to give it to me. It's ours. They don't have the power to keep it from us. That's why they're desperately trying everything that they can do, and they don't even have the ability to do what they did. But and the fact that they're doing all these illegal, unlawful things is their undoing. This is all their undoing. So let it rain. Right, right. So thank you, George. Thank you. Um, yeah, it doesn't. These people are obviously paid by, and to think that this is the thing that you guys have to realize. To think that people are actually paid by the same clan that's being supported, like you are on the same payroll as the clan, like you all are both doing double duty and for the same cause. How sick is that? How sad and sick is that you would actually be that type of individual, that type of entity that would actually be on the side of something so corrupt and so evil, right? To put out that kind of nasty rhetoric. You're a Klansman with a black face.
Some
It
of them
really
so brainwashed they do it for free.
mm, facts. Facts. That's a real sickness. That's that is really sick. But yeah, but not to worry about these people because they're gonna die of their own accord. Um, being used in that way, or like you said, willingly doing it for free. Um, oh well, I know that this is like divine, and I know this is not the right time to be on the wrong side of things. So the people that are choosing to be on the wrong side of truth, and being on the wrong side of justice willingly, their outcome's not going to be very good. Nah, that woman mentioned me for days. She was working on trying to be on my daggone case for days. But it is what it is. Like I said, thank you for support, Antoinette. Appreciate you. But yeah, but it like I said, it's not. It's doesn't matter, man, because everybody that is on the side of this injustice and terrorism, you're part of the terrorism. Somebody being abducted and jailed to stop them for doing what is right and just and legal that they have announced over and over again and put in the paper and put in legal notices and sent letters out and da 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 da. How can you jail them for that after the fact because you're mad because they went and got a property that somebody powerful got their panties in a wad over? Really? The powerful people know that they're on land that they are illegally on. They know that. They just don't want. They just think that I don't know, but I know it. They just think that they have a right to be corrupt, but they don't. They don't have a right to be corrupt,
They
and
just
they don't.
hoping that the system work for them.
Right, right. Thank you, Antoinette. Yeah, they just think that they're so used to winning. Like I said, it's like it was like, but it's like they're so used to being the predators. They prey on you. They prey on everybody, and they win, and they eat. They win.
Nobody's went up against them. Nobody's fought back. Nobody's defended themselves.
Right.
They've been getting away with this shit for years.
But just like our rooster Jackie, the daggone hawk was killing all the damn geese, just killing, just ripping through that damn chickens, just just going at them, having a party. Got so confident, the hawk sat down and was like, "I'm gonna take my time and pick one out. I'm just gonna sit on the ground, right?" Sat on the ground, took his time. Jackie beat the hell out of that damn hawk. That hawk was like, what is this feeling? It hurts. It didn't even know pain. Like the daggone hawk was like, it was shattered. It had never been attacked, okay? But daggone Jackie beat that daggone hawk's behind, okay? And the hawk did not come back. So I mean, yeah, a predator, yeah, they think they can prey, they can kill, but until they get their butts kicked, they don't know how to handle it because they don't even know what pain is. They don't even know what a beat down is. This is what they getting. They getting that Jackie therapy, okay? Jackie was there to teach me something, and I learned well. Here comes
Indeed.
Carrie. Hey, Carrie.
Hey,
Hi.
what's up?
Hey, Carrie Davis in the house.
Is that Antoinette Johnson?
It is.
Wow, that's nice.
I got some nice folks on in the chat. I got copper colored lifestyle. I got some winners in.
I, look,
Yeah,
you ever watch a colony of ants? Just a whole bunch of ants where you're sick of them.
yeah.
So that's what you're doing. These people, because they come to my projects and they come to yours, and they're just picking up information so they can disseminate it out. And the
Right.
same, and the same with us. That's how that's really how it works.
That really is how it works. That is really how it works. They do. They but the way that I could use the most support is by putting the word out. And just really just sharing my videos, sharing the information, especially my one that said I was arrested or why we have a right to the land. Because I mean, that's the truth is what's really gonna free everybody. What's gonna give everybody true freedom is the truth you know and all this hiding my story and hiding my YouTubes and hiding my daggone Facebooks and banning me all the time. That's just to keep everything quiet. They don't want anybody to know the truth. They
Antoinette,
don't
what's going
they don't want anybody to have the real information, and they don't want anybody replicating what the Accawmacke are doing. So that's what it is. It's really just sharing it as much as you can with everybody. And I'm not just talking about people that know about indigenous stuff. I mean, your people that you went to high school with, everybody in your Facebook, everybody that's on your Instagram, everybody that's in your TikTok or whatever. You need to share it with everybody because people are miseducated. And everybody, I mean, like when I go and use an Uber, I tell them about the Accawmackes and the history and the truth. I mean, everybody gets a story. If they got to give me a little bit of time to say something to you, you're going to find out about what I'm doing. Like I'm going to tell you about the true history. They're going to get the true history. So the most powerful thing we can do is share the truth about what's going on with the Accawmacke Indians and, just kind of kill all these liars out there. These liars are sad, they're pitiful, they're desperate. Not worried about them.
you
You're
know,
talking about
one of the things Lisa showed me today, uh, I have an ancestor down here, and they migrated to Alabama. Guess where they're from? And so that's what I'm saying. The genealogy is really important, guys. Really. I know many of us don't want to look at it because we're from other places, the Caribbean or whatnot. It's important to look there too, because the Caribbean, they just didn't find and discover the Caribbean. You was doing that long before you met them. South America too. So really do the genealogy. Check those obituaries.
Yeah.
Obituaries is a good place. You'll learn a lot. Or at least,
or those when you have those programs, like the old people keep the programs from the funerals. That shows a lot too. That shows your family, who passed, who's still living. So when those old people die and everybody wants the silverware or the china or the nice little vase, you need to go and get the obits, the little obits they collect in the drawers. That's what I wanted from my father, the obits.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
I'll do that from now on, actually.
Yeah, that's important. You think it's
yeah,
like, oh, everybody wants those. That's worth having.
yeah. George says too. Up in Canada too. He's right about that. Because remember, Virginia isn't just what it is now. Remember, they sold off some of the land to other corporations coming over.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia used to be down in Florida. And that's what I'm saying. When you go back further in your genealogy, you'll pick up little hints like that. Focus
Exactly.
on yourself. Focus on yourself.
And that makes sense because a lot of my dad's family goes way down to Georgia.
Mm-hmm. See that? And then we found out that the Lattahatchie started in Virginia. So that's a Alabama, so-called Alabama nation that actually began in Virginia. So you got to understand that we're more close. First of all, we're more closely connected than what we realize. We are more one people than we realize, especially when you get down to the real genealogy. But when we don't deal with the real and we're like just dealing with, organizations that aren't really based in our lineage and not our actual tribe, that's the thing. We got to deal with our actual families. And then when you start dealing with your actual families, there's actual clues that brings everything together. You're never going to get those clues if you're dealing with a social group that is like a facsimile of a nation. You can't actually claim anything. You can't even, like, more importantly, like, put the pieces of your life historically together, that applies to you, unless you deal with your actual nation. If you stay in a facsimile of a nation, some kind of social group that is like, well, we're all indigenous, so we all are, of the same people, and it's just broad, that's not going to get you to the knowing of, wow, the Lettahatchee were really in Virginia. They started, and that's how they're in. Then they ended up in, because all the exiles, so many exiles happened
And so
up in
many
Canada.
wars are going on
Yes,
too.
George, you just said a big thing. Because, yes, we found out about our Canada connection as Accawmacks. So, yeah, you said a big thing by saying up is so called up. Yeah, you said something very key that we just got connected to the truth of all that. And there's so many more truths. Every time we turn around, every day we're coming up with more. The downloads are coming so fast right now. They're coming fast and furious. So it's really important that you guys, if eh, just like you said, learn your families. It's not about somebody, like I said, I did this live because somebody said, "Well, I haven't even begun to look for patents." Ain't nobody was ever looking for patents. This is not. This never was about looking for patents. It's always been about family, and it still is. But right now, we're in a fight because these people are destroying and terrorizing my people all the time, continuously, unabashed, unchecked, and it must stop. It must be stopped. In order to stop it, we got to get control of our territory. And they got to go. They got to go. These demons have to be put under control, and we have to have our territory back so we can bring peace and prosperity to our territory. And that's what this is about. Peace and prosperity to the territory. And it's not just for the Negroes, because there are good people of all races. Everybody's not a terrorist. But I do say this: some of these people that are good need to speak up. They need to speak up and speak out about what they know. Because being silent makes you a co-conspirator with these terrorists that are doing this harm to the Accawmacke Indians. Their silence and complacency makes them, in part, hand in hand, working with these evil terrorists. So I need the good people to speak up. I need the good people in Northampton and Accawmacke County to speak up and speak out. Stop being silent. We got educators. We got people that know a lot of things, but aren't saying things.
They're compromised.
Their life
No,
wouldn't be so cushy.
That's right. They are compromised. But
they're
they need, you
compromised.
know what? But guess what? What do you think is going to happen? What do they think is going to happen? And what do they think is going to happen karmically? Because this is a very big energy that's happening, that's beseeching these demons right now. What's happening to them is they're feeling pain. They've never felt pain before. They're feeling very uncomfortable, and they're feeling pain. They're getting tightness in their chest. They're getting headaches.
That's why they're hoping that the system works in their favor.
They can hope all they want, but the system that is working is not their own. It's our ancestors. And they don't have any control over it.
And you
That's
see,
what they're afraid of.
you know
They don't
what I'm noticing? I'm noticing that a lot of the people that you're talking about now, they know they just too embarrassed to say, because all that dumb shit they've been teaching over the years is garbage. And they'll look bad to other people because they was in it deep
right,
in all this stuff.
right.
So here's an example. This is just a small example. What do you think Umar Johnson, the look is going to be on his face when somebody comes to one of his meetings and shows the picture of Marcus Garvey with Walter Plecker, and that person explains who Walter Plecker is? What do you think going to be the look on his face?
I don't know. I'm surprised nobody's done that yet.
I don't think he's out there like that. I really, because I can't believe that people are this dumb to follow stuff like that. I
They
mean,
still
a
believe it.
15
Believe what they've been.
hammer.
Yeah, they
I,
still
I,
believe what
I,
they.
I I don't believe it. That's why, like this, like you said, what these platforms are doing to you, trying to get your message out. Can't they work that in reverse?
Mm.
Because, because I don't see nothing where this cat, nothing. And I don't believe that many people are following.
Yeah, they do. They promote the bull crap on purpose, and they suppress the truth. But people don't even believe that's true. They don't believe that this universe or this country this planet is controlled as much as it is. They don't really believe it. People think it's actually freer than what it is. They don't believe how enslaved we are. They don't understand how enslaved we really are. They don't understand it. They don't get it.
Yeah, I got an 80-year-old aunt that believes uh, Biden is doing everything.
Yeah, Biden, yeah. What we need to call is defects because that what they doing with that old man, carting him around and posing him and setting him up in that's elder. And I think somebody, I don't live in DC, but somebody in DC would talk to that because that man
Seriously.
needs some help. That man needs some help. That old man don't need to be up all late at night, riding all over the country. They abusing that old man. Got him posted up, flying in planes. What the world? That ain't right. How in the world is that okay? If it was if it's you, somebody would talk terrible about you and want to call the authorities. They got their grandfather all over the place. They put him in a truck, they put him in trucks, put him in cars, and put him in planes, and making him go here and send him up, making him talk all night and argue with people. It's not right. That's abuse, y'all. I don't care what you say. I didn't need to call an authority. Get it right. Straight elder abuse. Exactly. It ain't right.
That
That's
ain't
all
right.
that's all I gotta say. We're just not looking at things the right way. When I saw him sit up there, because see, I had heard he was in Virginia the other day. Then I heard, well, he doing a debate, and they're going and how is what? The man is decrepitly old. What are you doing? I mean, I was thinking when I heard that, I was like, that's too much activity. When is he resting up? When is he resting for they ain't letting the man rest? Like what? Y'all, somebody need to call some help for him. Okay? Call some help because they committing elder abuse on Biden. Okay? And that's what people need to be talking about. People don't look at things the right way. They're not looking at it.
Okay, so is this looking at it the right way?
Mm.
Uh, my aunt says that they have to change Trump. He shits on himself all the time.
Well, who
You
found
know,
that out?
so huh?
I said, who found that out? Is it just like that stage when they standing on the stage?
That's what I'm saying, man. These people,
How do
they're just
what,
sock puppets.
huh? How do they know
They're,
he's doing that? That's very personal.
they're just sock puppets. They're not real. If you look at some of the commercials or advertisement Trump's does for himself to try to make money, you'd have to laugh. It's comical. This dude is selling gold coins with his face on it.
Who would want a gold coin like that? That's not a good. Well, that's not a good look.
It's fake.
I mean, it's all fake. We all know anybody with any sense. But see, that's the thing. Most of our people don't understand that everything is controlled. Everything is. It's like we're like in a bad Disney movie. It's like a bad Disney movie. What we're living in. Everything
So I
is. It's a small world after all. We're in a perpetual ride of nonsense. It's all smoke and mirrors. We're not living what we're taught is real is not real. And what we actually are in is much more sinister than we want to realize. Yeah, he
so I
is man dead, Anthony. He is definitely man dead. But I don't believe in clones because first of all, this is what I say. First of all, if they had clones, Madonna would be looking a whole lot better than she looked. She wouldn't look all broke down like a walrus. You know what I'm saying? No, they don't have that technology. They ain't that smart. Can't give them that kind of credit. They ain't. First of all, they just ain't that smart. They're just not. So there's that. But yeah, he's definitely man down. And yeah, they got a lot of doubles for him. They got some doubles and triples, and they got people. But these old ass people, that's wrong to do it to them. It's wrong to abuse the elderly. I don't care if they are corrupt. They don't get to abuse the elderly. I'm sorry. Where's his wife? I haven't seen her in a minute. Who should be charged? Is it her? She was well, I don't know. I don't know. But who got gold shoes?
Trump.
Trump had on
Trump
gold.
has gold shoes.
Oh,
They're
gold.
targeted. Yeah, they're targeted towards us, supposedly.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of special things going on to distract us.
Oh, yeah.
We really have a lot to distract us. But all I can say is let us focus on what is real. Let us fight the fight that's worth fighting. We got to go to the people. Attorney General, needs to know what is happening. The corruption within our daggone country is at an all-time high. And what they're doing on the Eastern Shore needs to be known across and abroad, all over the place. And we need allies of all shapes, sizes, and forms. We need all the allies we can get. We need everybody on the side of the Accawmacke because, we are fighting a fight that's going to change the game for everyone. It will change the game for everyone. And that's why they got all these puppets out there trying to mouth like I'm some kind of weirdo out there trying to crooking people. Yeah, so I go through nursing school back in the day when you had to have an 85 to pass, go through all kinds of hell, had a career for over 30 years, got my master's degree, all this shit to daggone do some criminal shit at the age of 60 that for some property that I can't even live in all the property. What would what is the point of what would be the point of me doing some crooked real estate shit at this time and place in my life? Really?
Make it make sense.
Hmm. Yeah, that doesn't. And also, how about just pick up, look, Google a little bit, and also the Accawmacks have a website. A lot of information's on there. If she had looked at the website, she would be a little bit better informed about what's going on. We try to keep it updated. The proclamation's on there. You could see that that was done, and an affidavit proving it was placed in the paper back in February. So they knew good and well that we
It's
was
on
claiming.
Google as well because what I told you when I sent you that screenshot when I googled the property that the proclamation pops up on the Google search.
And yeah, so we need to go ahead and put another proclamation in for the rest of the properties. How about that? Mm. No, we cannot stop. We cannot stop. It won't stop. So yeah, we probably need to put another proclamation to make sure all the properties are well proclaimed. And that's not an encumbrance, mind you. That's the truth. The people that have caused people to have an encumbrance are the people that illegally sold those properties. Illegally selling something that you knew doggone well was Indian patent land. Concealing that as a non-factor by trying to put up these LLCs and family partnerships and acting like you're this and that, using all these legal loopholes to try to conceal what belongs to the Indians and always will belong to the Indians. Those people need to be sued. People that are now currently trying to sell their property that they know is in a whole legal quagmire about it being patented land. You can't pretend that you don't know that there's an issue. The person that I went in their face and said, you know, this is my property. This is Indian property. You know that there is a dispute because it's not disputable because it belongs to us. So you trying to sell the land, you're the criminal. You bought it as a criminal. You knew it was shady when you purchased it. And now you're trying to unleash it on somebody else unsuspecting. That's criminal.
It's are people selling or trying to get out from under it?
Yes, they are. Yes,
That
they are.
there's your proof.
And they're mad.
There's more proof for you. There's your paper trail right there.
And they're more mad because I put a proclamation in the paper, and that's a problem. See, really, the problem isn't a quit claim because the quit claims aren't even there. The problem, really, like Cynthia just made me realize, is that proclamation. But that was a legal proclamation. What's wrong with that? That's still not something they can daggone jail me for.
Exactly. And you put that out in February.
That was in February.
Right. You didn't get no charges till what, May?
May.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. Everything has been very above board. All steps that were taken were very thoughtful. Not because of me, because if people really know me, I can be a little bit spacey, you know what I mean? But the ancestors keep me on track. They keep me on track. They keep me doing things. They tell me, you need to do this now. And I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do this now. They really give me downloads all the time of what I should be doing. But I get but I spend but that's part of why genealogy is important, y'all. You start saying their names and they're like, my name. And you start thinking about them and look at they lived here. They had these children as a child. My children's names. And when you go to the graveyard, visiting them, reading their headstones. I clean their headstones. I actually gotta go back and do it. But keeping their space and honoring their space and their presence, and that they are your family. That is the most powerful thing. And that is really when things started really moving with the Accawmacke, to tell you the truth. That's really when it started really moving. And, you have to, you know, make that connection to who you are because they're inside of you. They make you who you are. In the same manner that these criminals are made up of their criminal past, their criminal ancestry. So we're dealing with generations of their mobsters, but they're dealing with generations of our Indians who are amazing and powerful and all knowing. So what you need to know is out there. You just have to access your people. Yeah, thank you, Ed. It is very sad that people will go to getting so daggone dirty for a paycheck. I hope it's for a paycheck. I hope it's not just for views. I hope it's not just because that would be terrible that is. I was extremely disappointed that Dane Calloway was that daggone basic. That's extremely that's disturbing, really.
Well, what did
But
he do?
oh no, he was in it doing it with his girl, with Sister Bethy. He was talking about me just with his girl, Sister Bethy. Yeah, he was involved in it.
Yeah.
So I mean that's very disappointing that he would actually get involved with something so tacky and so easily. So he's a researcher. So you didn't look up nothing? Like you didn't even I mean, seriously, if you just go on the website, or if you just go on our website, that's enough. If you just go on my YouTube channel, there's enough information there for you to figure out what's really happening. But to just go off rip and just daggone ride off of some negative ideas you get from one article that was placed by the people that are the KKK, hmm, that's sad. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, um, greetings, everybody. But yeah, I mean, it's sad. But like I said, not something that I did not totally. I'm not that surprised by. It's not like completely unexpected, but it's always disappointing when people that you think should do better, should know better, don't, willfully don't, and just completely mislead a lot of people because they have a huge following. Like they have a huge following. So a lot of people, and that's what the government and the KK/KKK want, right? They want a whole bunch of ignorant Indians so that they don't know how to fight, so they don't know what's right, so they don't know justice when they see it, and they don't know terrorism when they see it. Because what they are committing is terrorism. It's the same thing as Tulsa. It's the same thing as what they did in South Africa to Mandela. This is all terroristic behavior. And they sit up there and they did that to them 110 what year old ladies, and nobody really said anything about it. Nobody really said anything about those disgusting, decrepit judges and what they did to those old ladies by dismissing it. And those daggone attorneys that didn't even file charges in the right way and didn't, they were set up not to win, I think, in a lot of ways. But my goodness, they just want to make it seem like it's hopeless out here. That's what they want. They want they want the Indians to feel like there ain't no hope for you Negroes. Ain't no hope at all. Just give up while they keep piling in all these immigrants to take every little last thing we've got. They tell us there's no hope for you. And they tell us often enough, we're going to believe it, right? But then when somebody's fighting for what is real and what is true and what is just, you can't beat that person down and stomp on them with the enemy. Who does that? You don't make up lies to coincide with the daggone KKK. Really? So you that's what those YouTube people are doing. They're like participating in a lynching. It's lynching participation is what it is. Yes, lyncher. Yeah. Oh no, she's been fooled by Moors. What? I'm dumb now? Which one is it? I'm easily manipulated? What am I, a bobblehead? No, I don't get manipulated by anybody, and nobody is doing my paperwork because everything has to come from the Accawmacke. And nobody knows our story better than us. So no, that's not possible. But yet, they're going to sit there and perpetuate lies, and people are going to follow them down the road of lies and follow them down the road of being ignorant and scared. Oh, so be scared. Be very scared. Scared of what? Scared of who? Hey, Freehawk. Why would we be scared of anyone? We are the baddest thing on the planet. And we don't know it. We are the baddest thing on this planet. We are this planet. Put it like that. We are this planet. And if we don't know we are this planet, like literally we are this planet. Our blood is the lifeblood of this planet. Our melanin is the life force of this planet. We are this planet. There is nothing that we need to fear. Ever. Because nothing exists without us. It's that simple. I'm afraid of what? There's nothing that I'm afraid of that they could bring to me. Quite honestly. You cannot fear death. Why do you feel death? It's just I'm never going to die. Because I'll just take another form. And they better be afraid to kill me. Because my spirit is going to get them for sure. They better be afraid to kill me.
You know, I think it's about time, since you bring that up. I think it's time that somebody start, what were the spiritual practices of the people here before all this madness took place? I think that'll make it a little bit easier to swallow because we're following all this dumb shit that never worked, hasn't worked, won't work. We keep doing it. And when you ask the average person, well, what were the spiritual practices of your people? They have that look like, I don't know. you thought ways. You see everybody in the world is copying you.
Well, this is the thing. When you start to know your family, then you can start to know it, but you can't know it from what? Some of these groups out here? Really?
Yeah,
So I mean,
true,
because
true,
what you do is going to be very particular for your people, right? So
right,
somebody over and somebody in the other, someone in Missouri or somebody in Arkansas ain't going to do necessarily the same things as the Accawmacks.
right.
But in our search for our truths and our research and our getting closer and closer to people and things and the right questions. Sometimes it's about knowing the right questions to get the right answers. But our spiritual practices are coming to a better understanding, especially as we get together and we commune and talk. And a lot of us from childhood have had downloads that we ignored. But now that we've coming together under our true identity, a lot of the things that were downloaded to us in our earlier lives are now making sense about what our spiritual practices were. So our spiritual practices are being re-manifested, recreated, repatriated along with our identity. That's something else these people need to be worried about. They need to be worried about our spiritual strength and our regaining of our spiritual practices and our culture and it returning to us. And with it returning to us, so are our powers. So they need to be very afraid of that as well. And they need to leave us the fuck alone, basically. But that is happening. And that only happens, like I said, when you actually deal with your family, get to know your family, get to know your identity, your culture, your history, because that's when all these things come together. They come together through you, through the ancestors, and through your unity with each other. Because we're connecting and learning things about ourselves and connecting with our relatives that are across the globe. And it's really amazing. And it's really amazing that somebody can be in another part of the country, not even part of the country, and another country, and you have so much in common. Like you're just like immediate family. And I can only tell you that can happen. And then when people say my family ain't gonna get together, it's not about them. There's the people that you don't know now that are gonna be your closest family. They are your family, but you're going to find them to be your closest family when you actually come together as a people, if that makes sense. Because, I didn't know Cynthia. I didn't know Shara. Shara is very closely related, but we didn't know each other because, first of all, like I never went to her grandfather's birthday because it was the same time as my grandson's and my son-in-law. It's like it was always the wrong time of year. So I could never make it there to when they were usually all gathered together. And so that was one thing. And then it was just the fact that other than that, we really weren't given each other. And I would ask for, well, what are the other, what are the grandchildren? What are their numbers? I would never get it. I would ask for it because, I wanted to connect with them. So, I mean, a lot of things kept us apart. But this is the thing. When you come together and you realize that how close everyone really is and how much in common you have with everyone and how much alike you are, it's mind-boggling, y'all. I can't even tell you how. And then another time y'all find at a later time y'all will get to see us and see how what I mean. We'll reveal it later. It's not right. It's not the right time now. But we really have come together around the globe in a very big way. So, it's real cool. It's real cool. Yeah. Y'all have anything else to say? Well, all I can say is, it's about fighting. They're terrorizing. They're terrorists. They're terrorizing me for fighting for truth and justice. That's all. And they're just everything they have done is contrived and made up. And they don't know what to do but stall me. I have no court date because they don't want to go to court. Because they have nothing to go to court with. So they're trying to just keep me in limbo. But there is a time factor. And they can keep me a hostage if I play with their system, but their system is not, I'm not going to play with this. I'm not going to let them play with me. I'm not their play toy. So yeah, they want to keep me in limbo because they don't know what to do. But I know what I want. And what I want is to see them in court. What I want is to see all these people without their hoods on. I need to see it, and I need to see it bad. So I'm very eager to get this thing cracking and get this trial started. But I don't have a court date, so we shall see. But in the meantime, I need everybody to share this with as many people, like I said, not just your Facebook friends, not just your people that know that you're an Indian or you're into, but everybody. Everybody needs to know about this, not just the people that are indigenously minded. This is something that people need to be talking about in a good way, or at least in a way that they're questioning and learning and growing. Does that make sense? I hope.
Makes sense.
Well, anyone have anything else to say? Shara, got anything? Cynthia, you got anything?
No,
Hello?
I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I just want to make sure that the people that came in late, that you understand that, we have Carrie Davis here on stage, and we have a couple of my Accawmacke Indian relatives that are here on the stage, my council people, the people that, have my back, the people that are there, the people that go to courthouses with me and deal with, trying to fight for all that we're fighting for. And it's not some kind of weird single acting, trying to get something for nothing situation. It's a fight for justice and truth. And we wouldn't even be fighting if the corruption wasn't so bad. They made it worthy of the fight. They made it very, very clear that we need to be standing strong against this evil. If they weren't so evil and corrupt, this wouldn't even be anything. But the corruption's so bad and pervasive, and our rights are so blatant, and they know it. They know more about our patents than we do. They write books to deed up land. They write books. The books really the real purpose of the immigrants writing books is to steal land and to claim things that aren't true. To make it true, they put it in writing. So everything that is a lie, they put it in writing. So you got to understand that they make all kinds of recordations of this fake ownership system that they laid on top of the real ownership, which is patents, to try to codify it. It's not true ownership at all. They know it. They can't do anything about it except try to suppress me for knowing it. But they can't. They can't keep doing it. They can sit on me for a little while, only because I allow it. And I allow it because I want certain things to be revealed. I allow it because I want certain things to play out in a certain way. What they have done, I have allowed because it brings a certain energy to this fight that I need. They are not in control. They do not have power. They do not know that we have embraced not just each other, but our ancestors and our ancestral spiritual ways. And they are not equipped. Time's up. Good thing. That's good, Antoinette. That's good. That's good. We have a lot of us that are out there and choosing to go back to their homelands. And like I always say, if people are doing real legit quest to repatriate their people and get their stuff together, I always have the answers for them. I always have the answer for anybody who is trying to do what's right and the right way. I am here for that. I will never not help anyone, even as busy as I am in some kind of way. So, because we have to make sure that as many people that can do. Anything else, anybody? Well, I'm going to call it a night. It's been 2 hours. I think Sharon went to sleep. And thank you, everyone. Like I said, share what you can and let everybody know the truth. Anna.